this child is just misbehaving around you, the next thing is just to transfer it, which I do not think is right. Here, I am not going to be biased. I am African. I support Africa in every third position. And their parents will beat them. Every African parent came first in class. They always tell us that when I was young, not to ask, they just prefer, oh, I feel so bad now. Correct you. So if somebody's wife misbehaves, pam, 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 because that's how they were brought. Maybe I'll collect it. Why not? Are you not hungry? Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Mabel. Thanks for stopping by my channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, what do we do now? Okay, let's beg you, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. So I want us to talk today, all right? You guys, I do not want any arguments here. I do not want issues. You know why? Because no matter what it is, we are all entitled to our own opinions, you know? So I want to talk about parenting. Are Africans good parents? Are they good at parenting? Are Africans really good at parenting? So yesterday I posted a video where I was talking about the uniqueness of African women, and you know, somebody said something, and he was talking about how I was wrong when I said Africans are good at parenting, how Africans spank their kids and, you know, abuse their kids and hit their kids. You know, and some people started replying him. In short, I pinned that comment and people started replying, you know, different opinions, and really it got me thinking. I really started to think about it. So, is it right to hit your kids? I want to know what you think before we continue. Ask yourself, is that the best way to correct your child? Is that the best way to discipline your child? If you are African and you were brought up in Africa here, you already know how it is. You know that. Well, I don't know, I cannot really talk for other African countries, but I can talk for my Nigeria. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and it's a thing. I mean, we grew up like that. We grew up with our parents, you know, scolding us and spanking us and hitting us, you know. And a lot of people come out to say that if their parents did not hit them, then they wouldn't have been where they are today, you know. And is that really true? Are you of that notion? I want to know. Drop a comment in the comment section. I want to know, do you think that your parents hitting you made you a better person, or do you think it was abusive to you, or like, what do you really think? I know this topic is quite sensitive, and that's why I'm starting like this. I want you guys to, you know, I want us to just reason together. I'm not here. I wanted to do a live video anyways about this, but I changed my mind and I decided to do an actual sit down video. You know, what do you think? Do you think is the best thing to do? Okay, so should I say Africans or I should say Nigerians? Okay, let me say Nigerians, because I am Nigerian and I understand that, you know, we have similarities with other African countries, especially Ghana. You know, there are some differences here and there, slight differences, but you know, let me just talk for Nigeria. And when I say Nigeria in this video, understand that it's not just Nigeria, but so many other parts of Africa. They understand spare the rod and spoil the child differently. It's a different ball game here. People understand it differently in different places, but here in Nigeria, spare the rod and spoil the child. You know, we think that kids that were brought up, or kids that are brought up in the abroad, are spoiled kids, especially if their parents have been westernized. You know, if you don't still hold on to the strong, you know, values that we appreciate here, then your child is spoiled. And you know, here we do not want to hear that our kids are spoiled. It's a bad thing for us. You know, we see videos of people, of kids, you know, insulting their parents for real. There was a video I saw the other time, and a tiny child, a very tiny child, was telling her mother, fuck you, fuck you. And you know, lots of Nigerians were like, Hey, come and try it. Come and try it here. Come and can you look at your mother to talk to your mother that way? Do you think it's right that a child that I gave birth to now come and be telling me fuck you and tell me, Mom, you're crazy, Mom, you're stupid? We call those children here spoiled brats. We call them spoiled kids in Nigeria, and we do not want our kids to turn out that way. That is why, they end up spanking and hitting kids, because they do not even want to hear that that child is spoiled. Spare the rod and spoil the child. We see it differently. Some kids are seen embarrassing and harassing their parents in public. Some kids are seen throwing tantrums up and down here and there, and that's exactly what we do not accept. It's unacceptable here in this part of the world. It's unacceptable for a child to behave that way. We hold respect really strong. We feel like you should respect your elders. It's so bad that some people do not allow their kids call their immediate elder brother by name. You must say brother Joseph or brother Chinedu, or some people even call their siblings uncle and auntie, because we just think that that is respectful. We just think that's a way to show respect here, which I might not really buy personally. The whole auntie and uncle, brother and sister, no. I do not buy that, but a lot of people do in this part of the world. So, Nigerians, Africans think that, when they hit these kids, of course, nobody likes to be beaten. Nobody likes anybody to beat them. So they feel like if you remember the last time I hit you, when you want to do this thing again, you're going to think twice about it. That's what some people think. Yeah? But how some people feel it's not good to hit their kids. It's just that in Nigeria, they used to say, I don't know how that saying goes, but there is something that implies that you do not own your kids, but the community own your kids with you. So sometimes, even if you don't believe in hitting your child, your neighbor is going to hit your child. The child's aunt, that's your sister, is going to hit your child. The child's grandparents, because they're even old school, so they are going to hit that child. And some schools, the teachers also flog, scold, spank, and hit kids. So people just have different beliefs about this, but I've been really thinking about it. And then there's this thing, because we believe that the community owns the child, sometimes some people hit their kids because they want to prove to people around that, they know how to train their kids well. They are training their kids and they are not spoiling their child. Because if you do not hit your child, people are going to gossip and they're going to say, look at her, she doesn't beat her kids, she's spoiling them. When they grow up, they're going to show her they're going to be bad children, look at her. So in order to prove that you're not spoiling your kids, sometimes some people end up embarrassing and hitting their kids in public, just so that people can feel like, they're good parents. And well, I have my reservations about that. So for those that do not know, I'll just list a few things that kids do that make their parents hit them. Is that English correct? I don't know, but you understand. There are lots of things that a child can do that can make the parents flog them, spank them, or hit them. So you're going to realize when I'm listing them that they are not all that bad. They're not that serious. Some of the things are not, like for example, breaking plates. Anybody can break a plate while trying to wash the plate or while trying to arrange the kitchen. Anybody can break a plate. Sometimes parents feel like, it's only them that can make mistakes. But as a child, you should not break a plate. Because when a child breaks a plate, maybe because there is poverty in the land, I don't know, but they are probably thinking of how much they bought the plate for, and their child just came to break the plate because they asked the child to go and drop the plate in the kitchen or to go and wash the plates. And then if you break a plate in an African home, in a Nigerian home, those days, you're in deep yogurt. Like, some people will go and hide the plate somewhere or throw it away outside, throw it away from the house. Your mom will just be asking you, where is that particular plate? Everybody will say, I don't know. Another thing that you can do to make them hit you is letting strangers in. So if our parents are leaving us all out by ourselves in the house, they'll be like, do not allow anybody into this house. Do not open the door for anybody. And sometimes your friends might just come around and you open the door and your parents come back. You're in trouble. Another thing you can do, I just want to list them, is eating out, collecting something from someone. Because in Africa, they believe in witchcraft. They believe that, if you collect something from a stranger or from anybody at all, I don't know, it's just not nice. We're not trained to collect things from people, especially things that we eat. We're not trained that way. Even if you're hungry and you're dying, and your mother's friend, your mother's sister offers you food or biscuit, you're not allowed to collect it. If you collect it, your mother is going to be smiling with you in front of her sister. She's like, hey, collect it now. No, collect it. Auntie is giving you. But she's doing like this. She's doing you like this. Like she's giving you that eye that if you eat it, but she's like, because she doesn't want her sister to feel bad, she's like, maybe I'll collect it. Why not? Are you not hungry? And then the child collects it and eats. Hey, you've made a mistake. If you're an African, if you were brought up in Nigeria, you know exactly what we're talking about. Another reason is not taking first position in class. So in our schools here, after the whole term is over, there are different positions. So somebody like the brightest kid, the brightest child is going to take first. The second is going to take second, like that, and then the last person, the least intelligent person, takes last. So some people will even take third position and their parents will beat them. Every African parent came first in class. They always tell us that when I was small, I took first. I was always taking first. How can I give birth to you and you're taking third? And they're going to flog that child for not coming first in class. Really? Well, another reason is, having domestic accidents. Maybe your mother has been warning you, mind the way you are running, the floor is slippery, and then you're just still running and you fall down and you are crying. They're going to beat you because they told you not to run. It's crazy. So they beat for different reasons: lying, stealing, peeing on the bed, not doing house chores. Some homes not praying in the morning when they're praying. They wake you up by 5. Everybody must wake up to pray. And then let's say you now fall asleep during the prayers. Backhand. So there are so many reasons. Not eating, being disrespectful, throwing up a pill. Maybe you're not feeling too well and your father is saying, oh, manage, take this drug. And you're saying, mommy, I don't feel like I can't take it. They'll still be petting you. If you overdo that, I can't take the drug. Or you now take it and do, hey, which person's drug do you want to waste? Which person's drug? You're not serious. So getting involved in adult discussion. Your mother has a guest and they are discussing. Even if you know what they're talking about, you now come and put your mouth in their conversation. Your mother will not beat you. That's a friend. So it's just crazy. Let's not spend too much time here. There are so many reasons why African parents beat, spank, scold, hit, flog, cane, whatever you want to call it, their kids. Some even hit their kids just to let the child know that when mommy says something, she's not joking. So if you don't do what I say, I'm going to hit you. So next time when I say something, which makes a lot of sense to people, all right? However, times are changing, things are changing, and you cannot be behaving like you're in 1960 in 2019. Before today, I probably had, I've not even thought about this thing, but I really gave it a thought today, and I have realized that there are other ways. Because there's a negative side to hitting your kids. First of all, if you hit your child, because of the way it is done and because of the reasons why people hit their kids, it just makes that child reserved. It just takes away the child's confidence. It just makes the child very timid and makes the child very afraid. That's why you see that some African kids are not outspoken. If you are with another child from another place, The child can easily have a conversation with you, the child can look at you, but in some places in Africa, you're not even allowed to look at your elder's face. If you're looking at the person's face while the person is talking to you, they say you are disrespecting the person, you do not have respect, you're looking at me. So you find out that kids are always like this. Yes, I am fine. They're always all by themselves because they do not know what to do. They do not know how to relate to you, because they are scared that if they talk too much or if they are asking you too many questions, you are going to scold them. So they just prefer not to ask. They just prefer, oh, I feel so bad now. They just prefer to just be by themselves and still do their things, but it makes them start to lie because you are going to beat them. So they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to lie to you. It makes them do different things. Hitting your child is a form of abuse, whether you like it or not. Somehow. I'm not saying do not hit your child though. That's what I'm saying. Don't come for me. If you believe it's working for you, please hit your child. But I'm just saying that it could just make them abusive and violent. That's why you see some men beating women, because that's the only language they understand. That's the only way they think that they can pass information or correct you. So if somebody's wife misbehaves, pam, 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 because that's how they were brought up, and that's the only way they know how to communicate with the next person. You guys, I totally believe that there are other forms of punishment and discipline. There are other ways to do it, if you ask me. I personally cannot hit children because I have a soft spot for kids, and people are always telling me that as in these kids just be deceiving you. I just cannot hit them no matter what it is. I prefer talking to them, and my method might not be the best, okay, but some parents use tools and different equipment. They have the fan belt from the car, the fan belt that's in the car, that black fan belt. They use it. Some parents use belts, some use sticks, wires, ropes, cane, koboko that they make with, I think, cow skin. There are different tools they use to handle kids in Africa, and some parents just punish you. Oh, kneel down and hands up and close your eyes. But I think that some parents just do it to transfer their frustrations, because you see that they do not hit this child with love, that just small. No, they hit the child because they're transferring their aggression, their frustration from the day, their stress. The child might just do something, and because as the mother you are not in a good mood because you probably had a bad day, or you are broke and you're thinking of where the next meal is coming from, and this child is just misbehaving around you, the next thing is just to transfer it, which I do not think is right. Here, I am not going to be biased. I am African. I support Africa in every way, and I'm not even saying that those Western people have a better way of doing it. I'm not even saying, oh, they are better, go and copy their style. I'm not saying that at all right? But I'm saying that there are other forms of punishment. I mean, some parents are very impatient, very unkind, very unfriendly, and not because they are bad people. That's just how they know how to treat kids. That's how they were brought up, and that's how they know. That's the only way they know how to handle their kids. They forget that you can still be very kind, very friendly, very patient, but still very firm as a woman. I know so many women that are so firm, and I love it so much. I feel like you should not just allow kids do whatever they like to do. I feel like you should correct them. You should call them to order. You should, you know what I mean, you guys. Some parents even spank their kids. A child that is less than 2 years old, that doesn't know what life is about, a small child, their parents still spank them. Don't go there next time. And they always say things like, yes, we have to start training him from now, we have to start training her from now. This child should know that, next time, if he remembers that I spanked him. But those kids cannot even remember stuff. After they cry, they have forgotten and they move on with their life, if you check it for real. But again, that is the only way they know how to handle a child. That's the only way they know how to correct, scold, or discipline children. Spanking kids or hitting kids is the easiest thing to do. But sometimes we forget the actual goal. We forget the actual goal, which is to, help them be better people, help them to be well behaved, and very responsible adults. Because training a child, you know that this child is growing up and you're trying to, imbibe some morals in that child, which is the major goal. We forget the goal and we do another thing. What are we doing? We minor on the major and we major on the minor, if you know what I mean. The goal is to help them develop discipline and help them to learn from their acts and their mistakes. Let me tell you the truth. Sometimes when we were growing up and we were beaten as kids, we knew that, oh, we did something bad, but we did not really understand how bad it is or what we have done. So we just know that, oh, they hit us for doing this thing. So we do not even know, I wish I could give you a perfect example. So it's possible that, okay, as a child, you are pulling your hair so bad, maybe you're enjoying it, and there's something else besides pulling your hair. You can how can I explain this thing to you guys? Okay, so you can hurt yourself, you can develop a headache. So they just beat you for pulling your hair. So even when you really, really need to pull your hair for something, maybe your hair is tangled and you need to pull it, you're not going to pull it because you do not understand that the reason why they spanked you is because you were going to hurt yourself, not necessarily because you were pulling your hair. This is not a good example, but I hope you understand. So sometimes they beat kids and the kids do not understand why. So they don't just go there anymore. They don't do that thing anymore. And the truth is that they will still do that thing. It's just that they're not going to do it in front of you. And you don't want your kids lying to you. You don't want your kids trying to play smarter than you. You want them to be as open as possible. You want to be their friend. You want them to be able to tell you what they are going through. In Africa, parents make it look like they were never in love or like they were never kids, So when we are in love and we are trying to love up on our boyfriend or whatever, they don't allow us on, they don't come down to our level, really. I'm not going to lie to you. So they do not know why they have been scolded. The mistake that we make is that every time we tell kids what not to do. Okay, don't go there, don't do this, don't do that, and we do not tell them what to do, and they really do not know what to do. Do not forget also that kids will not do what you tell them to do. They are definitely going to do what they see you do. And we as parents, we do not lead by example. We do not show them the right things. We ourselves are the problem. And they see us doing some things. And what do? They copy what they see. So it's beyond telling them, don't do this, don't do that. It's now, oh, this is what to do in so situation. Or next time, do like this. There are times that your child, what can I use, is playing somewhere that he can get hurt, and you're telling that child, don't go there, no, you're going to hurt yourself. When the child eventually hurts himself, instead of you to beat the child, you're going to allow the child understand, oh, this is why I was telling you not to go there, and this is what has happened to you. Then you still take care of the child lovingly, instead of why did you go there? Really, I don't want to go on and on and on, but I want you to know that parenting is such a gift and such an opportunity that you should treasure and value with the whole of your being, with the whole of your heart. So if you're a parent, be kind, be patient, be loving, be present. Find out other ways. There are so many other ways. People that they hit while growing up, they don't turn out to really be the best. So there are other ways. Question things. Do not say, oh, that's how they trained me. That's how I found them doing it, so I'm going to do it. No. Why do they really hit kids? Does it really work? Does this make the child a better person? Ask questions within yourself. Okay, should I look for other ways? Are there other ways I can teach this child? Are there other ways I can discipline this child? Are there other ways I can correct this child? Be patient. Sometimes I know kids are just a handful. They're just all over the place and they're just everywhere. I know, but just be patient. Be humble. Just be humble, be patient. I have not said anything in this video, you guys. I'm going to say it again. I have not said do not hit your child. I have not said hit your child. I've not said anything. I'm just sharing with you guys what I've really been thinking about because of the comments that that person dropped in the past video, the video I filmed yesterday. You know, I just really thought about it, and I'm just sharing what I have thought about. I just want to know what you think. Do you think it's still the best thing to hit your child? Do you know other ways? What ways do you punish your child or discipline your child or correct your child? What are the ways? Let us learn. Drop it in the comment section. Tell us what works for your child, because what works for you and your child might not work for the next person and his child. So tell us what works. If you've done a course in this area before, you have some experience, you know, let us know how to go about it, just to make sure that, you know, our kids turn out really well at the end of the day. That's all we want. We want them to turn out respectful, well, and we want them to still hold our values, our cultural and moral values as Africans. So I hope you've learned from this video. I want to learn from you too, so I am waiting in the comment section. I'm waiting for you guys to drop comments so that we can all, you know, interact. It's not time to abuse each other or disagree. You know, just share your opinion. Do not get angry with somebody else's opinion. If you do not agree with it, just say, oh, I do not agree with you. This is what I think. This is what I think. The person too might even want to learn. But if you are insulting the person is going to come from the defensive side, and you know, nobody's going to learn at the end of the day, you guys. So I'm sure this video is already so long. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and reduce the time that I spend talking next time. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it, and hit the notification bell so that each time I have a new video, you are among the first people to know. And then give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I'm waiting in the comment section, guys. I am there waiting to hear from you guys. Do not forget to be nice. Do not forget that I love you so much. I'm going to see you guys soon. Bye.